So I had my first customer yesterday from my new business that I'm trying to get started. And only I could screw it up. Absolutely only I could screw it up. We have a school zone right here, so I have to slow down. I wasn't sure. The police officer got out of his car, so I wasn't sure if I was going to have to stop or not. So yeah. So let me tell y'all what I did. So I picked up this elderly lady, and it's actually kind of warmish without the, hope y'all can deal with the air, because I need some air flowing a little bit. Try the back windows maybe. Might be too loud. Can y'all even see me? My goodness. So anyways, I had my first customer, and she's got 2 more appointments this month. Now, locally I'm okay, but when you get into having to go into the big areas, the crowded areas where traffic is higher, I am of, yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to try to get home without my GPS. So I had to come out today to drop something off. But, so I get her to her appointment, and, you know, I'm sitting there, and I keep hearing this ticking. You know, I'm sitting in the car waiting for her, and I keep hearing this ticking, tick, 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 right? And I'm like, what in the world is that sound? Tick, 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 tick. I'm going, what? So, and I'm like looking all around, you know. The lights were on. The way that I took her to her appointment was a back way. I'll never do that again. And I felt like I needed my lights on. You know, there was a lot of winding roads and things like that, and we're following a school bus. So there was a lot of winding roads and things like that, right? And so I don't know, I just wanted to be safe. Plus there was all these other cars with their lights on, and I thought maybe I should have my lights on too. But I guess those were those new cars with the automatic lights that just stay on. I don't know. So then I go to, because I thought, okay, let me turn the car on and see if the ticking stops. Well, I go to turn the car on, and my battery was dead. Because my lights were on for like probably a good 30 minutes. Now, normally, if I leave my lights on when I park, it goes ding, 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 ding to remind me, hey, you know, stupid, you left your lights on, right? Oh my goodness, I have to follow this bus all the way. How far are we going to do this? Anyways. So, naturally I'm in panic mode, and I'm like, oh, no, 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 not my first customer, not this, not now, no, no, no. So she was still in with her appointment, but it was like, I had to have been close to time for her to be done with it, you know, I assumed. And so I panicked, and I called, you know, messaged my sister. My brother-in-law, bless his heart, came right out quickly too, and used this jumper thing that everybody should keep one of these in their car. It's just like this battery with cables attached to it that you attach to your batteries, your car battery. Just jumps, after about a minute, my car was ready to start. But she had come out, though, see, like maybe 5 minutes before he showed up. I was so hoping to get that taken care of before she showed up, but so she was a little bit irritated with me. She said, you've got to do better if you're going to be in business doing this. As much as that hurt, she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. So I took the critique and yes, she's right. So it's just one of those things on my checklist that I'm going to have to remember when I'm taking someone somewhere, to make sure that my car is, the lights are off and everything is, good. Oh my goodness. And so she had wanted to go and eat. And she was going to take me with her, but the place she wanted to go to was close to her appointment place, and the battery, I didn't feel safe. Neither of us did really, stopping the car so soon. The battery needed some drive time. So we came all the way, drove all the way back to close to home. And she took me to eat Chinese, and we had a great conversation. The night ended very well. She told me, how she once had left her car running with the keys inside the car, and the car was locked. The thing with when you are doing something for someone who's elderly like that, you have to, number one, especially if you're going to be in business, you have to kind of not take things personal, because, and I'm getting there myself, you get to a point where you're just going to say whatever's on your mind. But especially if you are paying someone to provide a service, and that service ends up being less than enjoyable, and it causes you stress and to worry, that's not a good thing. But with elderly people, you got to remember that, we do all kind of end up reverting back to our childhood selves, but that they've also lived a life, and that deserves respect. So, if you're doing the kind of thing that I'm trying to get going now, it's got to be all about them. Just let them talk. Don't give your opinion on anything. Just agree with them, even if you don't agree with them. Does that make sense? Keep your opinions and your personal stuff to yourself, and you let it be. And if they ask you a personal question, just kind of sidestep it or give a vague answer, and just let it be about them. Now, it was a very pleasant dinner. I got to go eat Chinese food, on her, and she's like, she's a foodie. Now, this woman is thin as a rail, but she's a foodie, okay, which I love. She's like, I am definitely a foodie. She was so hungry, which I know was part of her being a little irritated before, because once we started eating, she was much more pleasant. And I found out that she had been a fourth grade teacher, and just loved her students. And I found out a lot about her. She told me that I was good company. And she's like, stick with me. I'll show you all the best restaurants. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, but I could not in good conscience. My very first time out, I could not in good conscience charge her for yesterday, because of the thing that, where me leaving my lights on, and she was a bit inconvenienced. She didn't go to the restaurant that she wanted to go to, because the car battery wouldn't have been charged up enough in time. And it caused her a little bit of stress, She had to sit there. I couldn't pick her up at the door of the doctor's office. It was chilly, so she had to walk over to where my car was, which was hard for her, and so there were some inconveniences that she shouldn't have had to face. And as someone who's ran a business before, I know that you need to keep your customers happy. So that being her first experience with me, and given the goof ups I made right off the bat, I decided, and she took me out, so she paid for dinner, and so I decided not to charge her, and that touched her. That touched her. Probably a lot of people would have still charged her anyways. I didn't. Did it hurt me not to charge her? Yeah. Yes, financially, but I feel better in here. Does that make sense? I feel better in here that I did not charge her. I've been talking to you guys, didn't even notice that the bus was gone. My conscience is clear. I am striving so hard to be a better person, than ever, and losing people plays a part in that too. But so I just couldn't. Now her next appointment, I will charge her. It's assuming everything goes right. Her next appointment is in more familiar territory as well, and I know now not to leave my lights on. And she'll probably bring it up. Turn your lights off. Now, see, my keys were in the car. That's why I didn't get a warning. My lights didn't go ding, ding, ding. Now, if I had removed my keys, I would have gotten that warning and turned my lights off, and there wouldn't have been an issue. But because I was sitting in the car with my keys still in the ignition, I didn't get that warning. Live and learn. But overall, we had a very pleasant conversation. But still, because it was my mistake, her experience was not the best. It was not what it should have been, what I was striving for. So I just, in good conscience, could not charge her. And then when I took her home, so my afternoon with her was way longer than I anticipated it being. But I took her home and I gave her a hug, and she kissed me on the cheek. So she said she enjoyed my company, and I am hoping that Monday, she has an appointment Monday, that Monday is a much better experience for her. She said she likes the way I keep my car. I had come out yesterday to clean my car specifically for her, and so there are things that when I am working again, I will work on when it comes to my car. It's going to come a time when I'm going to need another car. I won't ever give this one up, but at some point I'm going to need another car, and just use this one for, maybe I'll get another, at some point again when I'm working, get another car, and then use that one for my business and use this one for personal. I don't know. That's a long way down the road. I couldn't get a car right now. My life depended on it. But just got to do everything to keep this one in good running order. But so, there was that goof, but it ended well. And she was happy when she got home, and she was happy after she ate. Yeah, that's how my very first customer went. But she did say that she would, tell other people. So, And I wore my shirt that has my company name on it. But one customer does not a business make. So y'all pray that I get word of mouth and can sustain a living on this, because what's going to happen is, if I don't, if I end up finding a job before that, I'm going to have to take it. I'm going to have to take it, no matter what it is. I really hope to find one before Christmas. Even places, even if I do something temporary, just holiday help, I can deal with that. I can deal with working temporarily somewhere through the holidays to get some money, and then continue to look for something more sustainable. But see, there is when you get to be of a certain age, there is age discrimination, and there are a lot of places out there that assume that you just can't do the job because of your age. And I'm gonna say, they're really not wrong. Mentally, it's not an issue, but physically, it becomes an issue. So, you're looking for things where you don't have to stand on your feet for a long periods of time, or to be able to sit down. Something that she said to me. Now, I can't have a daycare here, and it's against the HOA thing, but it's not something my client actually reminded me of last night. She said, well, it's not a daycare until you have 4 kids. And I thought, you know what? She's right. I could do 2 or 3 kids and be able to pay my bills. And so, as much as I kind of don't want to get back into childcare again, if it was limited like that and I cut my hours, that the hours weren't like they were before, I could do that. So I don't even have to have 3 kids. I could just do 2 kids. I don't need to make a lot of money, y'all. My overall monthly bills are less than $1,000. So it got me thinking. It's something to consider, What would be really cool is if, if I could keep like 1 or 2 of my former daycare kids up here, like during the week while their parents work, and then their parents come get them on the weekend. That would be expensive, really expensive for them, because that wouldn't be nothing like what I used to charge before. But, or if I told them, like, if y'all wanted to drive the hour and a half each way to bring them to me, but that's not going to happen. But they just don't know about me yet. So I thought about that. I have to pray about it. I told the church where I go, I'm like, y'all could have a daycare here. You really could. They really could. I'd even run it for them. They've tried it once before and it didn't work for whatever reason. But so there are things that I'm thinking about, and just going to have to let God lead that. I definitely know that I wasn't meant to stay where I was. I don't regret quitting that job. I don't. I have moments where I'm like, Dreama, you just shouldn't have quit your job. You just should have dealt with what? Being disrespected by children half my age? No. No, I won't do it. Not with all the experience I have. I'm not going to let some 19-year-old come and tell me what she ain't going to do when I'm supposed to be her manager. That still bothers me. No, you're not. Your position isn't respected, and you're not backed up by your director. You can't stay. You know, its leaves are falling. The leaves are falling so fast. It looks like it's just snowing leaves. Just plain, straight up snowing leaves. I think it's beautiful. And as quick as my brother-in-law uncovers the driveway, in a day or two, it's covered back up. But I think it's gorgeous. I think I might even get out here and rake some. I don't know what the point of that would be. Seems to be a thing people do. All right, you guys. So y'all wish me luck with this. Either this business, me finding a job, just getting income. Y'all wish me luck. Because I really need it. I'm not stressing. I know, I've got things that have to be paid like now. And, but I know God's going to provide. I know He's going to provide. He will. He always does. Sometimes at the last minute, but He always does. I've seen it too many times in my life, experienced it too many times in my life. He's not going to let me down. And when those doubts come, you just have to send them away. Just send them away. Get thee behind me, Satan. You know what I mean? Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate y'all so much. It's so nice to have you part of my little corner of YouTube. It's really nice to have you here. I mean that. Share this channel, please. And, say, hey, she's quirky. She's weird. She's unusual, but she's cool. And hit that like button for me if you wouldn't mind. It really would help. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. And I will go and check your channel out. If you have content, I will subscribe back. If it's appropriate content, you know what I mean? Well, I'm doing some deep cleaning today. I did some laundry this morning and stuff, so I'm going to go back in now and do some more deep cleaning. I might rake a little bit before I go in the house. Very little bit. Just to see how hard it's going to be for me. Or not hard. I'm just curious. All right. God bless. Take care. I love you guys. Mwah.